Well, a name we so often hear in the country diary is that of Eddie Smith. Welcome, Eddie.
Yeah, glad to be here, no?
Eddie, the first question I'd like to ask you is you've been involved in music for quite a number of years now, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right, Norm, yeah, I have. I started off in the pub, matter of fact, the first pub I ever played in was just down the road from the BBC studios, which is the old Royal Albert. That was when I was 15 and a half years of age. Just to give you some idea of the wages them days, I was earning £21 a week when the stevedore's wages was basic pay, was £11 a week. I used to do 6 nights and 3 dinner times. That's when I first introduced to music. That was just piano work and obviously singing the old-fashioned type music, the old sing-along, public bar entertainment.
So you were earning money then and you haven't stopped ever since. Music really, for you, Eddie, has played an important part of your life.
Well, it is my life, basically.
You were once the most likely man to succeed in country music with your band called Ed Nixon Busted, wasn't it?
That's right.
Why did you turn down all the offers that were given to you?
Well, we didn't exactly turn them down. We considered them all, obviously. You went on different merits, but probably made some of the wrong moves. That's probably what I can say at the particular time.
You did have a name in the old days, Eddie, of being a bit of a hard case. Musicians on stage had to do their job properly for Eddie Smith, I do believe.
Various musicians, I would say, yeah. You had to push them for a fair bit, and sometimes it didn't quite work out because if they was of the same temperament, it didn't work. But with the particular band I had, which was Busted, line up Mick, Bob and Kevin, there was never any problem with them.
You're going off on tour shortly to the north of England, Cumbria and places like that, aren't you?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What's the new lineup of your band?
But the new lineup is a gentleman by the name of Graham Bushell from Gosport. That's the lead guitarist. Tony Richmond, not played a lot of country music. He was with the band called Spice for quite some time. And there's, of course, Mr. Ray Davies, bass. That will be the 4-piece. That includes me as a vocals, bass player, lead guitarist, and drummer, of course. That's Tony. I'm looking forward very much to rehearsals, which we obviously got to put on a professional show. We're going to be rehearsing like mad now for the next few weeks to get a really, really tight show so we can go up and nip them again like we did last time.
Now, Eddie, do you have a manager to take care of your affairs?
Well, as it happens, so happens. We have, yeah.
If we want to see you, we obviously know that you're at the Swan in Woolston and you're there how many evenings a week?
I do 3 nights. That's Tuesdays, Fridays, and Sunday dinner times. That's with the bands. And I do on my own. Just me and the drummer, Tony. We do the Saturday nights, which is in actual fact is a sing-along night when we get different singers up and do their own stuff, and we back them. And we just sing along from old Nellie Dean type stuff, all sorts,
You must thoroughly enjoy yourself.
I love it. I enjoy every minute I play.
What I'd like to do now, Eddie, is ask you to pick a piece of music, country music, of course, and I'll play it for you.
Well, I noticed you had a pile in now. I've been through them, mate, and I've just sort of went out. I'd like to play. In fact, I'd like to dedicate it to my late brother, my younger brother, in fact, who passed away just over 12 months ago. One, because this particular artist was always his favourite. Although we weren't a country music fanatic, in fact, in any way whatsoever, but only by this particular gentleman's voice. And used to sing quite a lot, of his sort of style of music. And also dedicate it to my parents. One, to my brother, because it was his vocalist, his favourite artist. And to my mother and my father, because I would consider it to be a very old-fashioned song and still goes down well in the pub now if you just play it on piano, good old sing-song. And it's a number by Slim Whitman called Silver Threads Amongst the Gold. This was a dedication made by me to me mum and me dad and me brother Steve. May I say before I say goodbye, which I'm going to say in just a very few minutes, my name's Eddie Smith and I'd like your company at the Swan in Woolston, and I promise you a very good night.
Eddie, thank you very, very much for taking the time to come over and talk to us here on Deep South Country, and may I wish you the very best of luck on your tour of Cumbria and the northern parts of England.
It's been my pleasure, Norm.